The Atlanta chapter of the Association for the Promotion of Tourism to Africa recently hosted Dr. Laurie Marker in Roswell. Dr. Marker is the founder of the Cheetah Conservation Fund in Namibia. For 18 years, she has been leading the efforts to save the fastest land animal in the world from extinction.
I started the foundation in 1990 to go and save the cheetah. The cheetah is it's Africa's most endangered cat, and I've been working out of Africa for about 35 years looking at saving the cheetah and the problems facing it. So the foundation is basically works out of Africa, based in Namibia, to work with the farming community. Cheetahs are not found in protected areas. 90% of them throughout Africa are found on livestock farmland. So there's a lot of conflict where farmers kill them. You would call them ranchers here. Our programs basically revolve around training farmers, looking at the ecology and the science base of the cheetah and how it lives on the farmlands, looking at wildlife management, and a lot of education and awareness.
In order to run the fund, you've had to sort of become an entrepreneur, and could you tell us about some of those initiatives?
Well, a lot of the work that we do has to look at, as a nonprofit organization, you can look at just trying to raise money. We've tried to take a business model around this. One of the business models we've looked at was we've had a habitat encroachment issue with a lot of the, we call it bush encroachment, where thick and thorn bush from overgrazing has taken over a lot of the land, the habitat where the cheetahs prey and the cheetah lives, as well as the farming lands. And so we've actually developed a model project around this, which is Forest Stewardship Council certified, where we're harvesting the bush, putting a lot of people to work, opening up habitat, which will increase the prey, allow farmers to have a little bit more livestock, and overall the cheetah can have more land and there can be more cheetahs. With that, we've also taken another model where we're looking at our beef industry. Namibia's beef is free range, it's excellent beef, and we have an export of our beef over to the European market. So from that, with working with a lot of the farmers on the land who have learned about good livestock management and that they can actually live with the cheetah on their land by protecting their livestock and not having to kill the cheetah, then we are looking at certifying those farmers. So I'm talking about certification here in a couple different ways. For its Stewardship Council certification and also certifying farmers for not killing cheetahs, and then that can be branded onto their meat or as it's packaged. And our beef is such that you can actually take the beef all the way back to the farm on which the cow grew up and directly to that farm through something called fan assured beef. And so from that, we're looking at development of an eco-label, which is called Cheetah Country Beef. And so we've trademarked a Cheetah Country brand. And along that, a price premium can be added onto that, which goes back to the farmers. Therefore, farmers can live with cheetahs on their land and having good livestock management. They don't have to kill the cheetah. And the consumer around the world who's buying the beef can actually know that they're having beef that doesn't have a whole lot of blood taint on it. So that's another one of the initiatives. We also have taken on a tourism initiative as well, to the point that our town of Otjiwarongo, which is a lovely small town in Namibia, which is a wonderful country, is the cheetah capital of the world, and they brand themselves that way. And tourism is also one of the key points of Africa. And now people can come into our country and our community and actually come out to our research center and see the work that we're carrying forward.
Mm-hmm. And I understand you also have a line of wines.
And the wine is available here in the United States. We have worked with a boutique winery from South Africa that has put a label using the cheetah, and it's actually stories of our individual cheetahs that are orphaned animals. We have a sanctuary also at our ranch in Namibia where orphan cheetahs that cannot go back out into the wild live. So this wine actually tells their story. We have Chewbacca wine, and Chewbacca is 13 years old, and it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. The wine is available through actually mail order, but we're trying to get it into shops throughout the United States, and a part of the proceeds then come back to the Cheetah Conservation Fund for our programs to help save the cheetah in the wild.
Great. And there's also the Bush Blocks program, is that correct?
Well, the Bush Block program is the harvesting of this this landscape. And by harvesting this thickened thorn bush, we've made an extruded log. So the chips, the bush, which has big thorns on it, is chopped. It is then goes through a chipper. From there it goes through a hammer mill, and then it goes through a process where it's through very high pressure and heat. An extrusion process, it comes out as a log. A log here that you would look at would be like a Duraflame log, which has additives. This log, though, is an eco-friendly log, so it burns very hot with very low emissions. And calling it an eco-log, what it's doing again is opening up the habitat for the animals. It is a Forest Stewardship Council certified product. So we're, at this point, selling those logs in Namibia, in South Africa, and we're looking at trying to get them over to the United States as well as into Europe. And it's interesting because from a Namibian standpoint, and Namibia is in Southwest Africa, it's a very large country, about 2.5 times the size of California. Very safe, politically safe, but it doesn't have a lot that it can export and sell. So we have to bring a lot of things into our port, and they come from all around the world into our Walvis Bay port. So our ships then leave empty. So what we're trying to do is fill them up with a good fuel product. It's going into Europe. We're trying to get a market here in the United States as well. And with that, is the label has a beautiful cheetah on it, and it is eco-friendly. We're asking people to help open up the cheetah's habitat by helping save the cheetah by having a nice barbecue fire using these logs, or warming their hearth around a nice fire at night.
Something that I was interested in, I saw that you're working with an Iranian group, is that right, to help save the Asiatic cheetah? Can you describe that partnership?
Well, there's only about 10,000 cheetahs left in the world, and they're found in about 22 to 24 African countries. Namibia has the largest population, about 3,000, of which we've helped grow in the last 20 years. Other countries of Africa, the populations are still very small and very fragmented. The last of the Asian cheetah is in Iran, where there's about 100 or so. I've traveled to Iran a couple times. I've been very active working with them on developing an organization there that's called the Iranian Cheetah Society. And most of the people where the cheetahs are living are in subsistence farming with a low wildlife population. So we're trying to increase those wildlife populations. But what we've done is worked on a program called Future Farmers of Africa. And the Iranian people come into this as well, where we've taken our model programs of showing how people can live with cheetahs on their land. The other thing that we're doing is helping train young conservation scientists. Throughout much of Africa, there are educated young people, but they haven't had a lot of field work and training. And we have identified people in each one of these different cheetah range countries, and now are bringing them into Namibia and putting them through month-long conservation science training programs. Our idea is to try to grow the science, the partnership throughout Africa as well as in Iran, so that we can maintain the populations of cheetahs in those countries, actually grow them, because we actually envision larger numbers of cheetahs in the time as we go forward. I think many people think wildlife, it's endangered, it's going to have to be in a game reserve somewhere, and there might not be a chance or a possibility. I'm trying to give people hope, and that hope comes in looking at the kinds of programs that we've developed. Things like our Anatolian Shepherd livestock guarding dog program, where we breed a Turkish breed of guarding dog and donate them to farmers. The dogs grow up and live with their goats and sheep and protect the livestock from predators, so that then the farmers don't have to go and kill the predators, and they can maintain a good livelihood, meaning that if their sheep and goats aren't killed by a cheetah, then that means it's more money in the bank or their pockets. So we have chapters around the country, and we're trying to look at awareness building. That awareness then, as people start learning more about the cheetah conservation, cheetah being such a beautiful animal, that they might help us by supporting our programs through tax-deductible donations or actual business opportunities with things like our bush block opportunity or that of maybe our tourism opportunities, and that's why I'm here in the United States.